Peasant Productions presents the Math of ESP. Why it works, even if it does, even if you don't believe in it. At this point in time, this is like totally occupy ISS territory. I've got my arms looking much better. This, I want to make certain I document. The bruise actually ran more of my arm. It is nothing more than just just skin bruising because I was working in and out of the metal rails of the window. But it is by far and away the biggest ugly color bruise on me from everything else. As you can see, this finger does work. The pinky does work. There's still a little bit of discoloration and stuff in here, but you can also see that it's kind of tweaked out. It now over and out. And you can see very definitely that what was probably my shovel, my military style camping shovel, collapses down, get the pick on one end, the flat blade, and the top it pulled, it was actually, I think he had left it out there on the patio, opened up, so he just picked it up and started using the big flat blade of it. But it appears the blade hit there, and in the knuckle area here it's crushed, but you can see I can wiggle it and move it, and it moves on this area and all of that. So I haven't looked at the medical data stuff yet to see if there's an actual cap on that like you have on your kneecaps, or if it's probably somewhere in there. But you can see there's not a lot of major discoloration. There is and has been some bruising. It is swollen. You can see a comparison here. I mean, this is larger than that, and that's the little finger. So it is still swollen. There is still skin discoloration up in here, bruising type thing. But there was never any large internal bleeding or anything like that, like a major broken bone area in there. You can see this is kind of straight. I can, kind of wiggle it up and down. I kept trying to keep this part down. I haven't, and because of that, I don't have the feeling to make this finger actually close, even with the fact that I have a huge amount of water. I'm going to open this up a little bit and then show that too. You can see here there's a mark here where I was clipped or whatever, which kind of in the same area as this. But this didn't happen until, if you go back and you look at the photographs of me working on my hand that I put about like this and like this, this isn't there. This took like another whole, well, actually I take that back. That's like 5 days later I took off a very tight sports shirt. And I think at that point in time, the blood was actually able to come up into the skin, because that was literally the morning of the 5th day. I call it the 4th day cutting it open, because I started at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So, I am okay. You can see the color of my hands are good. You can see the wounds are healing. There is here, and here from where and other little scrapes up. But these appear to be where the shovel had hit me, this being one of the most obvious, and then at some point in time grabbing, they got on this side of me and hit me hard here with the shovel. The cop was really proud and smiled until I just looked at it and went, okay, fine, and went right back to dealing with the fact that we had to go. Also, I did receive today a piece of mail. They did walk in and actually hand it to me. There was no issues or anything like that. Nobody tampered with it. What was inside of it was 100% there. It actually says on the outside of the package here, 99% pure silver, because it's from my colloidal silver machine, and I need to get some more in. So this was lost in customs for quite a while. It is the 4th of December, and this was shipped out on the 19th of October. So, it's been in transit, lost in customs. I'm not accusing them in any way of holding this from me. I've been tracking it on the internet. But they did actually just walk out, hey dude, here's your mail, and pass it in to me without any kind of funny business whatsoever. So at this point in time, they do understand. Mexican law says they can't just break in and take me out. Mexican law says they violated that by busting in the window, breaking in through the patio, and then actually coming in, busting in the window of the apartment to extract me when they knew they didn't have the right. And they also understood that because they are related in many ways to everything going on in this town and what has been going on, that they were doing it specifically because family members on this block, you know, my landlords and the cops that live up the street, would then empty my apartment while I was being booked and handled in jail. So I wouldn't have anything. So they understand. I am fully aware that they were involved in criminal process. The information, the data, emails are set. So even in a courtroom, I can access the data. They have no way to stop me now. Again, I am proving that I am logical. I am proving that I know law. I am proving that I know how to be a good lawyer. And obviously, if I have to get my hands dirty, yeah, I can do that too. So anyway, I'm going to put some more in here in a minute. I want to cut this off, and I'm not going to waste video time trying to do that in front of the camera. Update on, you know, unwrapping the hands here. I've got the bandage off this almost completely. This is, let me turn around this side. I need to see if I do it this way better. Got the cloth still on there. Obviously, I'm letting it soak. I've got, this is actually colloidal silver water that's on there soaking. You can see the finger is not, and you can see that I actually can flex it some. You know, it's actually flexing above the knuckle here and coming down. So I do have some movement going to be available in that finger in that way. It's not a major amount of discoloration or even major swelling or anything at this point in time. Okay, continuing the saga, you can maybe see, kind of hard to do. Again, I'm in the wrong kind of lighting for this and whatnot, and I don't really want to change my setup around. But you can see, you know, there's a gash across my finger. You know, the finger kind of folds and flexes. All the color in it is fine. So I'm relatively healthy. I'm obviously logical. I'm sane. I know what I'm doing. I may not exactly appreciate where I'm at, but you know, you can see that the, get a finger here that works. You can see that the cut is starting from, goes all the way from this point here on around down into there. The blood here, I'll get a little drop of it, is, you know, just slightly discolored, a little bit pussy. It's not too bad or anything like that. I got this off. You can see there's not a lot of blood at this point. There wasn't when I had that piece of cloth on here still. It had wetted down. There were just a few areas. So I contained the bleeding. I contained what was going on. I've got, I can almost start making this part move. So the muscle and stuff that got chopped here. I'm kind of, for being only a one-person first aid medical corps person here, doing pretty good. And you can see by the layers here that I used to, you know, how stiff this is, why I walked away to cut it out. It took me a while to work it down. Many layers of tape here to immobilize this and keep it stiff. But like I said, you can see the flesh color, you know, the horrible color. You know, so the flesh here is all fine and dandy. So, you know, it's not an issue where, you know, I'm in any grave danger here with my hand. Obviously, if somebody out there remembered that, you know, Mexico is almost famous for shooting and killing journalists, investigative journalists, especially people that look into corruption, and, you know, you stop and think, yes, I'm a photojournalist, an investigative photojournalist who has criminal charges on the United States, so I can't run to the United States for help. Obviously, the Mexicans aren't going to do much about it either, because their church here in town brings like $10 million a year in income, not just for the town, but also for the Vatican. It has a high range. I think I was reading in some of the stats of about $50 million per year. which is billions of pesos, folks. Okay, not, it's like 20 to 1. It's been running from 18 pesos to the dollar to about 21 pesos to the dollar in the 3 years I've been here. So yeah, 50 million times 20. Gee, that's a heck of a lot. So obviously they don't want me to get out. They don't understand my story is already published. It's already up. It's on the internet. The fact that I've never in my life chased after followers of any sort. Joking comment. That's one of the reasons why when I would go in and rescue somebody from an abusive relationship, I never taught the woman to follow me. I taught the woman or the man or the child or whoever to defend themselves, take care of themselves, and stand up for themselves within themselves. They didn't need me. They simply need to understand they didn't have to be where they were. So, as you can see, I am doing okay. This is basically just a video update. The police, like I said, the mail came through. My phone bill will be due shortly. I think I can take care of that. But, I'm going to test them, see if they go up, pay it, come back, type of a thing, and then get the money from me. And the same with my electricity, but I'm going to check and see whether or not I need to use internet connections to do that. So, we're progressing. We're surviving. Larga vida a la revolution. Long live the revolution, folks. Occupy ISS. Somebody's got to get out there and start fighting first and be the first one across the lines. And as a Rainbow Warrior, I fight for all of life, folks. I'm not one of those nitty-picky little people that only wants to care about, one particular section of life. You are one planet. You are all life. You all need to respect one another, yes. But I try and save the whole mass of you, just because. So, okay. Hey, see, Occupy ISS, so we got it back together again, okay. Again, I'm going to step on the other side here. You can see I've got a little piece of wire here. It is definitely beneficial. As you saw, the cut is right across the knuckle. It's very hard to immobilize it and then bend this down, but there's enough wadding and stuff here. I've got breathe tape across here now, and it's rewrapped a little bit differently, but I've got this wire, that kind of bends this down. It contracts this area and pushes it together, and that. At the same time, solo-handed sailing as a little kid was what I was learning, so obviously I've got, the wrap here, so I can use my hand as much as possible in keeping what I can down and out of the way, so it's not going to get caught on stuff. I'm not going to wake up in the middle of the night with this thing wrapped in something and stuff like that. But like I say, it's for those of you who don't understand survival. It's not about going over and picking up a book and reading what you're supposed to do, or seeing a video about what you're supposed to do. It's about having it up here and frickin' knowing what to do and knowing not to panic and knowing where stuff is at and how to put stuff together. I'm fighting for my life in a country where they do kill investigative journalists quite often. There's been several of them in the news and stuff just in the years that I've been here. Not here locally, but I think the closest one was about 100 kilometers from here. So it's not unheard of that my life, being an investigative journalist, especially with the gods, is in danger by what I do. I go in and ferret out corruption. So, yes, I understood some of the risks. I didn't understand all of it because I knew I was being called somewhere, and I would find out about it when I got here. The level of intensity going all the way to the Vatican on this was pretty intense. So, but needless to say, I have it. I'm healthy. You saw it was open, and there's nothing horrible. I did let the scab crack so that I could actually pour some colloidal silver down inside. So I'm fine. Just putting this together to let people know.